you're going to take us through the most important questions. What's question number one?
Question number one is a very good way of finding out if you are financially healthy. And in fact, just today, the Labor Department actually announced that the average person, the average worker in the United States, has not had a meaningful raise in the last 3 years.
Okay.
So with that in mind, you need to know what you're doing with your money. The first question, therefore, is if you were given $10,000 as a gift, and you had to use the entire amount of money on only one of two things, either funding education for your kids or funding your retirement, which would you do?
I'd buy that television set with the... That's what I would do.
Okay, I know what you would do.
How old am I?
It depends. It doesn't matter. Let's just say you're a family of four, you have two children, two adults.
Your retirement or your college education, or the kids' college education. Okay, what's the answer?
I think
Elizabeth,
education.
for example. That's understandable. Grace, you know that she's going to be going to college in 17 years or so. The right answer is fund your retirement. And here's the reason why. Absolutely. The audience knows. And the reason why is it's heartfelt, but you need to have your mind in it as well. You can get loans to send your kids to college. Who's going to give you a loan for your retirement?
Okay.
Huh.
Interesting.
So start funding it, and the earlier you do it, the better. If you're 20 years old, I know it's hard to think about retirement. Oh, yeah, right. But if you start doing it in your 20s...
That's you, Kelly.
That's me.
Kelly, I'm talking to you, sweetie.
I have to agree with her. I'd much rather have the TV.
But you know what? If
And a mirror in one. TV and a mirror in one.
It's a 2-for-1
But actually, Joy's point was, where are we going to put the mirror?
I know, we're
in
in
there,
there,
right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
But
okay. And
if you
you're stuck with the student loans, though. We got to think of that.
But the student loans also is considered good debt. Something that you can pay down easier.
So what's the next question?
Another question. Have you saved 3 months' worth of living expenses that you can get your hands on right away?
Okay.
3 months.
And does this, when you're
Have
saving...
you?
Oh, have...
So you got to figure out what your
I don't
living
know.
expenses are, and then
Your rent, your food, your utilities, any other recurring bills.
yes, you got to make sure you have.
in case you lose your job.
In case you lose your job,
right.
in case there's some kind of a problem. You know, does the roof leak?
It's hard
If
to
you've
save
lost
3
your job.
months.
It's hard to save 3 months, but the reality is that financial specialists are now saying you need 3 to 6 months. And the reason is because people have been laid off and they're laid off longer. So the last thing you want to do is have to face one of these things and then go, I don't have rent next
I
month.
wonder if the audience, how many of you clap if you have 3 months savings?
Does that include like stuff for medical expenses that are unexpected, or like a car failure?
Hopefully you have medical expenses that are covered, that you have a good medical plan.
Insurance.
But this is just for emergencies. Something dramatic happens, and get your money. You have to be able to get your hands on it. Some people say, yeah, I have CDs, but that's not good enough.
Okay, next.
Okay. Here's the big one.
Yeah.
Do you lend money to your children?
I do.
Is it a loan or is it a gift?
Come on, you give it. You don't lend it.
Is it a loan or a gift?
Right? I
It's a loan. She will try to pay me back.
What was that?
And I trust her.
We love our children. We trust our children. You know what the answer to this is? No.
Yeah, but what if they're trying to get a business going? Mine did, and now
There
the
are
business
all
is
sorts
going
of
so
great
well.
What if they're 15 months and really want a cookie?
So you do not want, but then your kids hate you.
No, because what you should do is never loan any money that you can't afford to lose.
Oh, that's a different
So
thing.
give a gift.
Okay.
It is much better to give a family member a gift than to give a loan. Now, are there occasions when you should? Absolutely. And it isn't even so much what the occasion is as much as what you do about it. If, in fact, you give a family member a loan, know that you need to write up a paper so that you have a formal agreement. You also need to have a repayment schedule. And you also need to charge interest. And that's what the federal government says.
Well,
Really?
we did
I didn't
some
make
of
it
that,
up.
but
People
not
are
all
looking
of
at me
it.
So wait,
going, oh, bad person.
is it illegal then to not charge interest to
You
a friend?
must charge a certain percentage of interest on a family loan.
Oh,
You're able to give $11,000 a year absolutely free.
To anyone in your family.
To anyone in your family. But the reality is people think with their heart, they don't think with their brain. Instead of a loan, give a gift. It's much better. It's much easier.
Right. Okay. Next.
Next.
How about online bill payments? Is this something that you were wondering about,
I
Barbara?
can barely do emails, so the idea of doing online internet payment is beyond me. Is it a good thing to do?
It's a very good thing to do. A lot of people say, I want to walk into that brick and mortar bank. I want to be able to see the individual that I'm talking to. The reality is online bill paying is safe. It's fast, a very expedient thing. And what happens, you know, if you're traveling and all of a sudden you go, oh, my God, my rent is due. And you're going to try and figure out, are you going to send it Federal Express or overnight mail or whatever? online bill paying is a very safe, secure thing
There's
to do.
something about giving a woman, a person, the money, as opposed to putting it into cyberspace.
I know, into the Ethernet or the Internet.
There's something scary and creepy about
But just know that it's coming anyway, so you might as well join it because it is just going to be the way.
Okay, whatever questions we don't get to, we're going to put on our website. But what's the next important one?
Do you know your credit score?
No.
Yes.
Yes? Good. What's your credit? Do you want to tell?
It's good, but
All right, let me give the range. Credit score ranges from 350.
What do you mean credit score?
A credit score is the sum of your financial history, how well you have done. And then lenders apply a number to it. And that number is what says Barbara is going to get a great interest rate if she wants a loan because credit is high.
So how do you find it out?
350 to 800. If your credit score is 720 or higher, excellent. If it is 680 to 720, still okay. If you're under 680, you need a financial checkup. You can get it when you get your credit report, which everybody should get every year. It's free of charge online.
Okay, thanks to Valerie Morris. That's very important information. And if you don't have more, you can find it on our website. We'll be right back. Our thanks to Kellie Pickler, adorable, and enjoy the view.